I have a crow call, so I can make crow calls if you guys want.
That's useful.
Just saying.
Like, when you say you have one, like you've developed an impersonation, or you have like a...
I'm holding
like
one
those
in my
duck
hand.
calls. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where does one get a crow? Like duck calls I get because people hunt for ducks. Why? What's the deal with crow
So
calls?
a crow call is usually used when turkey hunting. So what you do is you...
You're not clarifying things.
Take me through this one step at a time.
I'm starting.
Yeah.
It was just... so what you normally do is you go into the woods about sundown, about the time they're roosting. And if you let off a big crow call, for some reason that no one really understands, all the turkeys will make a bunch of noise. So then you know where the turkeys are, and you can go in the following morning and get set up close to them.
So is there some like hidden crow versus turkey thing? Like crows are going to go after turkey eggs?
I don't know. Yeah, no one really has been able to pin it, and people have been using crow calls, since post-war.
Wow.
So you think they would have figured it out by now. I don't know if it's just generally they assume there's some sort of distress, so they make more noise to alert that there's danger. I don't know.
Since the Franco-Prussian War, in answer to the question of which war.
Yeah.
War?
I was wondering, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I understand that the Kaiser himself did it with Otto von Bismarck.
There was a big hunting boom when all the young men who discovered they liked guns and being outside came back from World War II.
I see.
Famously, that was the big take home from World War II. Mama, we were all outside and we got to shoot
with
guns.
Well, I mean, people. So
it was swell.
Everything was great here. No complaints.
I think there was a bit of a move, to get away from the urbanization a little bit.
Yeah.
That was being pushed on people.
And now you could have a car and drive to a place.
Yeah,
where
now
you can hunt.
yeah.
The Allies would use crow calls, and the Turks would give away their position.
So now we're going back to World War One then.
Yeah, now we're bouncing back a few, but that's fine.
All right. Well, I was hastily scribbling down notes. So the disadvantage here of playing every week is I don't have like weeks and weeks to come up with way more scenario than I could use. Have to scrap half of it.
This game sucks. Oh, Jesus.
We managed to flesh out your thin gruel of a story.
Yeah. Let's see. So, okay, you know what? Before we get started, something I'm thinking. If I was reading the Sun Chasers book, at about this point, I'd be starting to... I just putting a bug in your ear here. I'd be starting to think about, okay, why did this crew of people end up together? And I don't have the answer to that, but it would be good to think about it. And in my head, Seymour is probably... like as the spider, like he is probably the one that got this seemingly random crew together. For why? I don't know. But I think it's just an interesting thing to think about as if we want to develop backstory canon at some point.
I'm starting to solidify in my mind some of the perspectives that Helena has on the rest of the crew. I don't know if that would be helpful just for other players to see like what reads I'm getting so far, or maybe from there we can kind of extrapolate things like you were saying, Rob, with Seymour sort of being the spider that probably brought the crew together. I think that Helena kind of looks to Seymour as the boss in some capacity. Like we all sort of work for Seymour, or at least she does.
I gotta stop bossing campaigns. Or maybe you just need to stop subbing, dude. Because you were the one in Temple of Elemental Evil who's like, Y's in charge.
Why, Cam?
Monster of the Week Cam was in charge too.
Because all of you always play
yeah.
characters that are incredibly strongly opinionated, and they are immediately out of the gate with those opinions.
Okay.
Jeez, I wonder where that comes from.
That's nothing like Cam in real life.
Yeah, it is nothing like him. So what I'm telling you, Cam,
really know
this
Cam
is
in
called
real life. Is that
role-playing.
true?
You're supposed to play people other than yourself.
Okay, so I thought that was going to be about character interpersonal relationships.
Well, it kind of was, I suppose.
No,
yeah,
it was. It really was.
I hate all of you.
I mean, to be fair, it feels like
fair.
a similar. To be fair, it feels Fife and Helena feel a little similar in that like they're used to being like sort of the one that takes orders in a kind of larger organization.
Mm-hmm.
As long as that order is in a kill-wordly direction.
For Fife, definitely, but Helena doesn't really fucking care.
Oh, Helena loves to kill.
I feel like Gun's
she
gotten
kinda
out
does.
ahead of anybody else's direction a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. Well, there's a reason why she's a former blue coat, right?
Right.
I mean, yeah, I don't know why. I mean, this is definitely no complaint. I'm perfectly happy to have Cam's characters be our leaders more often than not. And it really does make practical sense, just from the roles these have, that the spider would be the one doing the organizing anyway. So, yeah, absolutely.
Well, and in all fairness, on this campaign, I picked Spider because there were only like 2 classes left. I was the last one to pick a character.
Oh, were you the last one?
Yeah. Because I had waffled about playing for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Loser.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, no, I'm very glad I did, that's for sure. But at the time, the kid was even younger, and I was like, man, do I really have time for this?
Very fair.
Yep.
But now it's amazing how quickly they get more independent.
Now he's 26 years old.
Right.
And we're on game 6.
All right. Any other interpersonal character comments? That's an interesting thing we can develop over time, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody else has a thought on relationship.
I assume Willy's just here to somehow further his trade union and socialism through violence agenda.
Socialism through violence.
I mean, that's the character I should be
do.
playing. If you want to talk about trade unions and socialism through violence, I'm your man.
Honestly, I figured the only reason Rip is here is because nobody rejected him.
Yeah, well, and I think, Seymour landed in town without a pot to piss in.
Yeah,
and
that's what happened with Rip.
It's a town where you better have some allies, I think, and he just might have, pulled together the lowest hanging fruit that he could get the quickest.
Oh yeah,
No
that
offense.
actually, yeah.
No, I
it's
mean,
not going to be my nickname, Rip, lowest hanging fruit. Slag cheek. Yeah, that's about right.
What's your character's ethnic background, Cam? Where's Seymour from?
I was from let me look at the map here. I'll remember when I opened right.
Yeah,
of course, I ask you that. I don't have it in
on
front of
that.
me.
You're from somewhere else.
Yeah, I think I came out of Scotland, Lockport, I think. Does that sound right?
Silver's a foreigner too, isn't she?
Right, Aruvian, that I know.
Aruvia.
Yeah, I think Scotland is the logical place for him to be from.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah,
Cool.
he quickly fled trouble there and just kind of landed in Duskwall.
Excellent. Okay, well, that's a little background character development. Does anybody want to sum up what happened last week, or do you want me to?
You completely skipped my background character development.
Oh yeah, did you have one? I'm sorry. Go for it.
Oh well, no, it's basically just where Seymour goes, I go. I figure, I interrupted or I walked in on one of his schemes and just kind of followed along, and that's what we've been doing ever since.
That's what you did.
I kind of like that.
Cool.
Yeah, so when last we left our party, they had been off to do a little recon work on the worm cult that devolved into a bloodbath. We wiped up the cultists pretty quickly. What ended up happening with the aristocratic leader? We still have her, or did we cap her? I cannot remember. That was getting late at night.
Yeah, well, she said the wrong thing.
And then the reanimated corpse was possessed by... Did we determine who it was? Or just someone that we had faced before who was
the guy.
That was
an
the
ally of
person.
Skurlock's.
Mhm.
Okay.
And just since it's been a long time, I'll throw this to you. In the first one, you had shot a guy, and before he keeled over and dead, he said something like, "I was rather liking this body."
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So
I remember
there's a
that.
bit of a callback to that. Yeah.
Maybe if we can, if he can just body hop, maybe it's better to, next time he's in a body, quadriplegikize it and see if we can keep him trapped rather than just letting him jump again. Just an idea.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I can do that.
Sounds like something Helena would enjoy.
Unless Rip has a different way to go about that.
I think I've got something. Yeah, keep going. I'm going to have to consult my book.
Okay. Well, and you had picked up, Silver, I think, had picked up at the end there the weird box that this cult had dug up. And apparently, as far as you could tell, that was the reason they were at that particular place.
Right.
In a drug-induced frenzy. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yes, exactly. And we opened it and saw inside a larger than human heart. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Mummified, not moving in any way. And that's where we left it, with that open.
Okay.
So we can
Eat that
start with
shit.
our typical post-job downtime action.
Quick jump back. Willie could build a black salt bomb. Covers a small room, keeping ghosts from exiting or entering. And it's also volatile, so that could be fun.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Black salt bomb.
So we
won't you come?
could. I don't think that would trap it in a body, but if we were in an enclosed space, we could stop it from leaving. So
I'm intrigued.
proceed.
Okay, so the big payoff, no coin. Obviously, you weren't hired to do this job. You did it on
Hooray.
your own.
Self-motivating.
There's the old reputation and heat thing. So
Yeah, that's just,
if you decide, there's a lot of shooting going on and whatnot, but you didn't knowingly have any witnesses there. You kind of you have that choice you've had a couple times. If you keep quiet about it and don't blab about it, you won't get rep, but you won't get heat either. So you guys can briefly chat about if you want this, if you want it noised about that the Sun Chasers took out this weirdo cult in the park in the midst of a bunch of ghosts and enhance your reputation. But then, of course, the Bluecoats will hear about it.
Where are we sitting on reputation and heat, Willie?
We are sitting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in reputation, and we have no heat as far as I know.
What?
Ooh.
What? No.
You've had heat. Unless somebody cleaned it up, and I don't think that happened.
My goodness, I'm sorry. No, we have 6 heat.
Okay.
Okay.
I was about to say.
We're hot and reputable. We're hot with a nasty reputation.
I'm not sitting on a whole lot of stress or anything, so I thought I might spend a little downtime cooling off the heat a little bit. So if we wanted to take some rep and heat from this one, I will work on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Or
I'm
on the
sitting
other,
on 8 stress.
So I think my opinion is that we don't really want to draw too much attention to this because we're trying to keep Skurlock off our backs, and if we advertise, it's only going to aggravate him.
Yeah, but I'm saying I can spend my downtime to counteract that.
well, I feel like at the same time we're better off. I agree. I'm with Rip on this one. I think that if we keep quiet about it, that way your efforts will be more effective, right?
Exactly. More impactful.
How are we supposed to spread the word of trade unionism if we keep quiet and don't try to expand our turf? We need to. We've look at all the shit we've done over the last 4 or 5 sessions. The amount of people we've killed and the shit we've blown up. The number of fucking ghosts we've dealt with. And we're supposed to keep quiet about all of this.
Well,
I will also point out, ladies and gentlemen, that we are absolutely broke.
Question on the table is, you can keep quiet and not boost your reputation, but also not get heat, or you can let word get around that the Sun Chasers just devastated this cult in the middle of a ghost-infested park, thus boosting your reputation, but also getting you pretty damn close to wanted, if not wanted.
Now, Willie, what I'm hearing from you is that this is very much what we're proposing is going to be, we didn't get anything out of this, but I think we got information. And if that's worth laying low for a little bit, and in the meantime, looking for a high-pay job, that way we can grab some coin, we don't have to worry about possibly getting any more attention from the Bluecoats.
See, I'm with Seymour. I mean, how many of these just like handout jobs are we supposed to take? I mean, we should be at this point. We should be flexing, I think, and making at least some reputation for us. At least on our street.
Now, to be fair, this wasn't necessarily a job. This was someone, if you'll remember, someone infiltrated our place of business and was trying to blow it up.
Yep.
So we followed them and took them out.
Yep.
Now I'm starting to turn on that. Yeah, we do want that to spread around that,
we sent
someone
them,
fucked
we
with
sent
us and
them a
we sent them a
clear
message.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think
just
it just
want to
happened.
note that I think this is going to antagonize our enemy more than we really necessarily need.
I mean, we called it a shootout in Mistshore Park, but I mean, we just straight up murdered all those people.
Yep.
Quick thoughts from Silver or Rip. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Silver.
Well, I was going to say that my sense of my massive sense of wanting to social climb is warring with thinking that maybe having a little notoriety would get me invited to more parties because everybody likes the element of danger. So that is kind of overriding my social climbing. Best make nice with the nobility. So I'm going to have to side with Willy on this one.
I believe Seymour is on board with us too.
Yes,
I am.
Okay.
Wow. I've never actually seen that happen.
All right. So I think let's give you 2 rep on that, but mark off 2 more heat. Usually, since there were deaths, you'd get even more heat, but you guys are kind of controlling the message here for now. So 2 of each.
2 more rep and 2 more heat. Okay, our heat is almost maxed out.
So then you have a
take
wanted
care of
level.
that momentarily.
I know Seymour wanted to do that last week, and I agree with him. I think we should start. We should start expanding our turf.
Right.
We heard about there was this crew, the divers. Maybe we could use them to expand our turf a little. I don't know. I don't know what the best way to expand our turf would be.
Right. And that's just in game terms. That could literally be like, this is our street corner at which we distribute blah, blah. Or in 6 towers, you only we can do sabotage jobs. Or it could be, we have this shop through which we sell things, or we have this like underling gang, in this case, the divers, who feed us money and do stuff.
The divers are also in 6 towers?
Yes.
And they are under pressure from some other
party unknown, who's extorting from them as they dive for stuff.
If we do work on expanding our turf, is that going to run us afoul of our no compete clause with the Grey Cloaks?
Well, now there's a question, ain't it? As Gun might say. All right, but I want to knock a couple things out first. An entanglements roll, where you're going to see if there's just some sort of background weird stuff happening. What is your heat at right now?
Our heat is at 2, 4, 6, 8.
Okay. So if your heat is 6+, I'm looking at the chart, you roll dice equal to your wanted level, which happily is 0. So somebody please roll 2 6-siders. We're going to take the lower total. Who wants to volunteer?
I'll volunteer, if that's all right. If no one objects.
No objection.
Please do.
Here we go. 2 and a 1.
Okay, flipped or interrogation.
Oh shit.
Well, that's the least bad on this chart.
Okay, that's good.
Ooh, that's nasty. I can't do that to you. Wow. Oh man, I get to be really evil in this game. Let's just hold that thought for now, and we'll hit it for you as we go along. Just let that hang over your heads for a little bit, shall I?
Let's let that marinate for a bit.
So there's one more decision to make. You guys got enough crew experience points that you can get a good thing from your crew sheet.
Oh yeah, we do. We are full on experience points, and then we have 3 extra. So is it we can tick off another special ability?
You have a choice. You can tick off another special ability, or you can check off 2 of the things on the crew upgrades, which are also kind of cool.
Oh my god, we can get a pet.
Pet? Where's that?
We have a Gregor.
But Gregor could take.
You already don't clean up after it.
Oh no, that's not crew. Crew upgrades is in its own box. It was below. I thought it was all.
Do we have a Bravo sheet that we've uploaded in the past? I can't remember now.
No, in our look, no.
No, probably not. Okay. Well, let's talk it through. If you take a special ability, you can check off one of these things. Dangerous, each PC can add 1 dot to their hunt, their skirmish, or their wreck.
Oh.
Blood Brothers gives you a boost when you fight alongside each other. It's a very fighty one. Door Kickers, when you execute an assault plan, take an extra die to the engagement roll, that first roll. That one doesn't make much sense for you. Patron would be interesting. When you advance your tier, which you're close to doing, it costs half the coin it normally would, but then we have to figure out what higher up is patronizing you.
You missed Fiends.
Yeah, I skipped it. Well, okay. Fear is as good as respect. You may count each wanted level as if it was turf. Since your wanted level is 0, I didn't think that'd be that good. So you could pick one of those, or Colin, can you read off the ones in the lower right? And I'm going to get a screenshot.
And the crew upgrades?
Yeah, where it says lair, quality, training, and cohorts. And pretty soon
so
you'll have this.
That was the stuff I was looking at. The crew but the crew upgrades is Bravo's rigging, which is 2 free loads of weapons and armor. Iron Hook. Right. Iron Hook contacts, which is +1 tier in prison. Elite Rovers, +1 quality. Elite Thugs, +1 quality. And then Hardened, which is a +1 trauma box.
Oh, but looks like that one costs 3 upgrades to unlock, not just one.
Yeah.
And then there's also the general ones off on the lower right there. Colin.
Yeah, we can get a carriage for 2. We can get a carriage. We can get a boat.
No, so when there's 2 on those, you can take them multiple times. Or on those ones on the right for carriage and boat and stuff.
We could have 2 carriages.
Yeah.
We could have a fancy one and a work one. Okay. We could have a party carriage. We could have 2 boats.
That's the Chaser's party wagon.
What is hidden? We could.
Can't we have a party barge?
Hey, is hidden? We can actually hide our lair.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yeah, you disguise your lair.
That would be amazing.
Magically. Well, I think we should probably take that, seeing as we've been hit already, or almost hit. But let's keep that in mind. Quarters we've already got. Secure. You'll need to explain. Vault.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just a sec.
I assume that gives us another vault. A workshop.
Workshop is where people can work on building stuff and ritual stuff and things like that.
I suppose I could just look in the book under crew upgrades, couldn't I?
So mechanically, how does workshop assist versus just a long-term project?
It adds a die to your projects, I believe.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the Bravo's crew sheet. If you click on it, you can follow along at home now. And I'm looking at the special abilities kind of up in the middle, the crew upgrades down to the right from there, and then the stuff in the lower right corner. So deciding these by committee might be difficult. If you want to decide how you want to decide, or pick 2 people at random to do them, or whatever, if anybody wants to make a case or ask me questions about what the upgrades are, I can answer those questions because I actually printed off the page that they're on. So vault means you can store more coin without having to distribute it around. Training allows you to train, give you a bonus when you train on different sets of skills. So you get experience faster when you train.
Yes.
Hidden lair. Your lair has a secret location and it's disguised to hide it from view. We can retro that, I suppose.
It's a bat cave.
Yeah. Carriage house. You have a carriage, 2 of the huge goats to pull it, and a stable. Boathouse. Secure lair. Your lair has locks, alarms, and traps to thwart intruders. A second upgrade improves this to include arcane measures that work against spirits. Workshop. Your lair has a workshop appointed with tools for tinkering and alchemy, as well as a small library of books, documents, and maps. You may accomplish long-term projects with these assets without leaving your lair.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from.
There's so much to choose from, yeah. So if you guys don't want to do those right now, you can think on those for a bit, and we don't have to lock it in right now.
I like the hidden and secure. I like that. I like the notion of a hidden layer and a secure layer.
Agreed.
I like the XP.
And the XP is also good.
Low level.
Oh, you mean
find
the one
ways
where
to
we
boost
could...
XP.
Yeah, the training.
I'm in favor of the trainings.
The trainings.
Yeah.
So we already have we come with the prowess training, right?
Correct. So you've
Yeah,
already got that
again.
bonus, but you could do it to insight or resolve.
Yes. Either of those would be awesome.
Yeah.
And the personal, I assume, is for like the special abilities.
Playbook. Oh, that's to do playbook XP. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Any of
That is
those three
correct.
would be awesome. I would be in favor of any of those. Like them all.
Yeah, I also like the special ability, which was a +1 in hunt, skirmish, or rack, which is pretty nice too.
That
But,
plays well for 2/5 of our party.
Yeah. Let's go with training.
Okay. So do you want it for insight, prowess, resolve, or playbook?
I like playbook myself.
So that's going to make it faster for you to get your special abilities checked off, which is
Rip
pretty
is
dope.
happy with any choice. Any of those
I think
choices.
playbook is the one that does the most of us the most good.
Yeah, playbook it is.
All right.
Okay.
Now, question then.
That was
is
easy.
We still have another one, don't we?
Yeah. All right, let's have somebody else take the lead on the second. Yeah, you get to choose 2 of those or one of the special abilities. Silver and Gun, I heard the least from you on that last convo.
I think that if absolutely no one else had any idea of what to suggest, I would say let's go for the Bravos rigging, or save it up for next time so that we can secure our lair so that people don't break in and try to set it aflame.
Okay. And that Bravos rigging gives you lets you carry weapons without counting toward load. Up to 2
free load of weapons or armor.
Okay. And does Silver have thoughts?
I mean, the rigging is great, but I'm not somebody who uses it, so that would be more of a benefit to my teammates. So that would.
Well, if we're gonna go for a flex, Seymour, do we want it to be hidden?
I was just throwing that out there. I
mean, hidden would
have
be
somewhere to hide.
Hidden would be more secure, probably, but
secure.
I don't know.
Okay.
I go either secure or hidden. I don't care.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily. Like you said, if we're going for a flex, then it makes more sense to just secure it.
Well, the crew can flex, and people can not know where the crew is. That's
yeah.
I think
hidden
that
or secure.
Okay, good point.
But then people won't be able to find us to give us jobs.
Ooh.
We can find them. We can set up.
We can find them, but I mean,
they
we don't want to be going.
They can go to Salia. I've got hookups with the information brokers.
Okay, we're going to be mysterious. Okay, that'll work.
Do we have 3 agreeing to hidden over secure? If this is a democracy, I don't know. I don't want to impose standards on the Sun Chasers.
Well, yeah. Who is in favor of hidden?
Rip.
1. Okay, I only heard 1 person in favor of hidden.
Okay.
Who's in favor of secure?
Me. Silver.
Me. Willy.
Okay, Seymour. Between the 2, which would you prefer?
I'm going to abstain.
Okay.
Oh, great. So
I've argued my position. But yeah, I'm going to abstain.
Okay.
So at this point, if I pick hidden, unfortunately, then we would be at a deadlock. So I'm going to go secure.
Well, hold on, wait.
Oh God, damn it!
Let me do one final read here, okay? Hidden. Okay. Your lair has a secret location and is disguised to hide it from view. If your lair is discovered, use 2 downtime activities and pay coin equal to your tier to relocate it and hide it once again. Or secure. Your lair has locks, alarms, and traps to thwart intruders. A second upgrade improves the defenses to include arcane measures that work against spirits.
Oh, I say that, yeah, secure first. I'm not going to change my mind on that.
Yeah, I think secure sounds better.
Yeah. I want locks, alarms, and traps.
Yeah, I think secure is the way to go.
Okay. Let's do it.
We can upgrade and keep out spirits.
All right. Cool. All right, we have spent your crew experience.
Wow, really so masculine and active today.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I believe that brings us to downtime activities.
It's all that lemonade he's drinking.
All right. Okay. So I can start checking off as people go. Let's start. Okay. So remember your set of downtime options. You can acquire an asset, a temporary asset. Like one time somebody got a goat cart. Could be a helper. Could be a dangerous item. Like, hey, wouldn't it be handy if we had big bombs next time? You can work on a long-term project, of course, or start a new one. You can recover, which is the one to heal harm. So you make a roll to see how much you advance your healing clock. Reduce heat. Somebody had mentioned rolling an action to reduce heat segments, and you kind of explain and role play out how you do that. Train, you mark 1 XP on your attribute or playbook track, but remember now 2 of them, you actually would mark 2 XP for this or for the play sheet. And let us never forget, indulge vice. How about Silver? You can make your first of 2 downtimes.
Well, I'm still kind of I'm trying to finish out this clock, and
Yeah.
I've got 3 spaces left on the clock to get myself invited to Lady Rowan's salon.
Yeah.
So I'd like to work on that. Can't remember what it is I'm supposed to do.
So you just think about, like, just say like what your strategy is this time around, and we
Okay.
come up with a roll. And these downtime rolls mostly don't have like, if you failed on this, you would just get 1 tick mark. So the stakes, the negative stakes on these downtime rolls are generally not high. Well, actually, something you mentioned made me think like wanting to have kind of like a naughty criminal reputation and see if that would help get you invited as sort of like, ooh,
The danger, the danger one. So I guess you know, I would wait until I hear somebody talking about the nasty cult leaders
Mhm.
nastiness at the park and say a little more than they would know to
Ooh, that sounds
indicate
fun.
that I was there.
Okay. So you can pick your role on that. It sounds like sway or maybe consorty, but as always, the player ultimately gets to decide.
So I would say that's more sort of a sway because it's like
Mhm.
if they believe me, you know, I'm making a comment and you know to sway them
Mhm.
to pay more attention to me.
Right. Cool.
So,
But you're not saying you had anything to do with it.
right.
That kind of okay. Awesome.
It's more kind of you know when police hold back a piece of information that
Mhm.
doesn't get put in the media. You know,
Excellent.
to avoid you know you know people
Sure.
falsely
Copycats. Yeah.
confessing. Yeah, that's
Awesome.
kind of what I'm doing.
Okay. So it sounds like we've got a sway roll in the works. So count your sway dots and roll as many 6-sided dice.
Okay, one of them's a 6 and the
6.
other's a 2.
A 6. Okay. So for downtime on that, I believe that is 3 check marks, if I'm not very
Oh,
much
I finished my
mistaken.
clock.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, 1 is 2. Yep. Well done. Okay. So there'll be an invitation waiting for you. Maybe we can have little vignettes for people here if we have time. That sounds fun. Okay.
Nice.
So yes, your cunning tactic worked. You noised it around in just the right way to not get heat out of it, but send the right message. Okay, let's go
Right.
down. I'll go down the list here with Brent and Gun's first downtime activity.
Well, Gun is going to. She has exactly 6 stress, so it's time to go indulge her vice. She's
Which
going
remind
down-
us.
She enjoys going into a stupor at Travern's smoke shop in Coleridge.
Okay.
So she saunters over to Coleridge. And,
Can I tag along?
Yeah.
I'm not
Always room for
actually
one more.
reducing stress. I'm just going for fun and flavor.
Awesome.
Yeah, sure. You been before? We've been smoking yet?
I didn't. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, let's go get ripped.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we saunter into Travern's, and yeah, Helena is mostly smoking, and there's drinks there too. She's like just doing a whole bunch of stuff in order to kind of like ease over some of the trauma that she researched. Not necessarily trauma, but like just the shit that she just went through. Actually, that's pretty dang good.
So your
wait,
roll,
right.
just as a reminder, is your lowest attribute. And remember, the attributes, you just look at the left set of dots under insight, prowess, or resolve and find out which one has the fewest.
Isn't a friend assisting Gun right now?
Can you? I don't know if you can really assist on vice. Does that make sense?
I mean, we're going. Have
Robert.
you ever been out for a night on the town with me?
Okay. Here's what I'll offer. If you're willing to use this, Seymour, as one of your 2 downtime activities, I'll allow you to assist.
Sure.
You're gonna do it?
Yeah.
Thanks,
Oh, that's really nice. Okay,
He's
so that's
sitting on 6 stress. We need to get this taken down.
Okay, so you get an extra die out of that. I won't charge you the usual stress to push for someone though, since you're spending a whole downtime on this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
I mean, downtimes are few and far between. So yeah.
So my weakest roll is resolve, which I have 0.
Okay, so that usually would be 2 dice, take the lowest. So that help now gives you 1
I
die.
just get to roll a dice. Great. Oh, and I got a 3.
Okay, well, it's better than 1.
I got 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
You are welcome.
How are you helping him, Seymour? I'm just curious. Oh, helping
Oh,
her.
I'm just I'm the devil on their shoulder who's like, yeah, one more shot won't hurt you.
Yeah.
Here, let's pack
Then
another
you run
bowl.
over to the other shoulder.
Yeah.
He's right. Take more.
He's right. Yeah.
You know,
I'm not getting like ripped.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm also playing chaperone a little bit.
Excellent. Okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever, as you know, a 30-year-old taken someone out on their 21st birthday or something like that. But you kind of act as a governor and just keep them right at the right level.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
that's what I'm trying to do here.
Excellent. Yeah. Rip slag cheeks. Downtime activity number 1.
Strange methods is one of the special abilities. When you invent or craft a creation with arcane features, I don't really understand what any of that means. But I'm wondering if that's relevant to my long-term goal.
Yeah. Okay. So the crafting rules, probably Column knows them a little better than I do, but a thing you can do is to try to craft stuff. And there's a whole damn set of rules for that.
Yes, there is.
But anyway, you figure out what you want to craft. And usually it starts off kind of a long-term crafting project.
It's 224 and 225.
Thank you.
224 through 225.
There's a part of me that feels like, yeah, this game's really straightforward and simple. There's a part of me that flips through the rulebook a lot. So during downtime, a PC can tinker with special materials and tools, produce strange alchemicals, build or modify items, create spark craft gadgets, or enchant arcane implements or weapons. The system for each method is similar with different details depending on the nature of the project. So, like, is there something you have in mind? And we can translate into game terms.
Well, that's just it. Like, does the game allow me to build a phylactery?
Yes, but it's a big project. And actually, the first thing you'd have to do would be to come up with a valid plan for one or find one out in the world.
So this is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, is this like maybe more research then? Like, I'm trying to figure out where to put my experience.
I think that sounds great. Let's say if you want to do that, you start a research clock called how to build a Phylactery-Making for Dummies.
Yeah.
And this is kind of high-ass level magic you're working toward.
Yes,
so
very much so.
I think it's gonna, so just to find this plan, I think is gonna be an 8 or to craft this plan is gonna be an 8-step clock, if that's what you want to do.
Would it make more sense to try to find an abandoned one?
Here's the thing, like and part of this is me not being overly familiar with the entire world available in Blades, and also Rip I think also is not quite sure. So I think it's a little bit of both. Like, so I don't actually know if such a thing even exists.
Well, so Rip would know. There's like a lot of weird undead stuff in the world, and there's a lot of mystical shit. And would know that you can do the magical stuff you want if you put in the time and the talent and the risk. So it is entirely plausible that you can make something like that.
All right. So Rip is definitely interested in like learning how to do this himself. I mean, finding one is interesting, but he also suspects that finding one means he'd have to probably, fight the owner of it.
If you go to the beach, you might find a phylactery that another one moved out of when they found that got too big for it.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So building it is at least more interesting. So I've added a new clock called Building a Phylactery for Dummies. It's got 8 slots.
Okay. So now figure out a role to initiate this and explain what you're doing. How would you start researching such a thing?
Let's think here. I want to have a better understanding of how spirits inhabit anything. Like, how does a spirit actually inhabit a body? Like this part of this was sparked by our last adventure, our last week's adventure. Like, okay, I helped initiate a spirit battle over a corpse. Well, what is that one spirit doing in that corpse, and how does it have such a strong hold on it? I think I'd like to figure out. I want to figure out how that hold functions.
Okay, so so you're kind of starting to do homework. There isn't like exactly a library of this stuff, but you know people and you know some resources probably. So let's see. I mean, this sounds like a study kind of roll to me.
Definitely study.
Okay. So let's have you do that.
Okay, so I started a clock. Is that like the downtime is starting that clock, or is there
No, and you can make your first study roll to take your first steps to even figure out where you're researching.
I see. Okay. So I have 2 pips in study, so is that 2d6 then?
Yeah, it is indeed.
All right then. Oh, that's why I'm not.
Oh, by the way, for downtime activities, you can almost always spend coin to boost your results 1 level per coin.
Well, I mean, if you have coin.
Right. I know.
I have 1 coin. I will definitely spend a coin for this.
Okay.
This is worth spending money on. So does that mean 3 dice?
2 dice, but you're going to get an extra pip in your result.
Oh, fantastic. I love that. Okay. A 6 then.
So you got a 5 as your high number, which would usually give you 2 pips to check off. By spending that coin, you're knocking off 3.
Okay.
So you're like throwing around a little money. Oh, that book could be helpful at this arcane bookstore, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice, Papyrus.
So those 3 pips go.
So you check off 3 now of the slots of your Phylactery-Making for Dummies.
Oh, so
of the 8.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
All right, the Coleridge Badger.
Well, it's gotta be. I've got. What's he got? He's got like 8 stress, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, he has 8 stress. So he's bordering on trauma. So it's gonna have to be gambling. He really needs to start tinkering with stuff, but it's gonna have to be gambling.
Okay.
But I don't know. He's either gonna go down to the docks and go to his usual hangout, that Grist's place or whatever for the boxing, or there's Sergeant Velk down in Dunslow with the fighting pits. That sounds fun, where you could do some gambling and get knocked unconscious. But now he's got kind of a secret, sneaky hankering for old Flint and his illegal spirit possession den. So is he able to go there and burn off some stress?
Yeah, sure. If that's what you call burning stress.
Could I tag along exclusively for flavor? I'm not going to
alter
a roll,
totally.
but I'm just coming along for fun. If Willy will have me.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, we don't need to play it out, but this
no.
will be your vice roll. So what's your lowest attribute?
It's like my resolve or whatever, isn't it? No.
Yeah. Is there 0 in that?
I have no resolve.
So that's what you
no
got.
Pips in resolve.
So you're rolling 2d6 and taking the lower.
Okay. I have a 6 and a 4. So
oh,
4.
Not bad. So
no,
you knock off 4 stress.
Oh, I don't have a rubber or an eraser, as you people say.
I seriously was like, he's
with
alone
eraser,
with a cat. Why does he need a condom?
Because I've got a 2-liter bottle of lemonade.
And while you are there, you hear a voice calling to you, a familiar one that has possessed you previously. And you hear the word, you owed a favor, as you recall. Oh. And you hear in your mind the word,
no
freedom.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Seymour's first downtime.
First and last.
Oh, first and last. That's right.
Yep.
That's very noble of you.
I would like to. Well, I intentionally avoided taking stress last time.
Okay.
And kept myself pretty healthy, so I could do these kinds of things.
I would like yourself before you wrecked yourself. Well done.
I would like to reduce heat.
Okay.
And I think what I would like to do is I would first like to visit our information broker Salia.
Mm-hmm.
And talking to him, so just to role play it out, it would be I want him to spread rumors that we were not involved in the recent shenanigans, that would go in the direction of the Blue Cloaks and Skurlock.
Okay. So you're kind of starting a whispering campaign.
Yeah, and then I would do the same thing. I would run out to the appropriate ale houses and start rumors hopefully going in the right direction, whilst the people on the street who were trying to impress still know it was us that did it.
Okay, that sounds like a perfectly cromulent way to try to reduce heat. What ability do you see yourself using here?
I would say I would think consort more than sway.
Yeah, that sounds like you're like, I'm hanging out at the bar, I'm drinking with these guys.
Yeah.
I'm at the smoke shop. I'm at the magic ghost contest.
Yep. I'm a man about town.
Okay.
And I'm probably so I've got a fine cover identity. I also have just other cover identities. I imagine I would be, putting on a different mustache at every place, just so it doesn't look like there's this one guy spreading a rumor if anything gets back.
I'm picturing you like you're just like saying something, then you duck behind the bar.
Yep.
And you come back up with a different hat and mustache.
Yep.
That guy's right.
That's exactly it. And just that type of fake voice too.
Excellent.
And since I'm using Salia to help me with this, that's plus 1d, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that's
yeah, that's an asset in this case. That sounds
yeah.
good.
So I'm using sway, which are or consort rather, which I already have 2 pips in, so it'll just bump up whatever my result is.
Yeah, so you're rolling 3d6 and looking at for the highest one, or if you have multiple 6s, all the better.
I half heard the way you were rolling with Damon a second ago, and I thought So a 6, a 3, and a 1.
So reduce heat according to result clears 3 heat.
3 heat have cleared.
3 heat have cleared.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now let's just pass along a couple things you guys hear as you're out and about doing all these things. You hear rumors that Daniela Rowan, a niece of the Rowan family, who had widely been regarded to be getting into some weird stuff, has disappeared, and the Rowan family is seeking her whereabouts.
Are they offering a reward?
They're putting out word, and you've heard that they may have reached out to a bounty hunter named Casta.
Oh man, guys, we could get paid for killing her.
And also, you've heard that the spirit wardens on the night in question, the ones who are tasked with clearing up corpses before they release the spirits into ghost form, had a big mess on their hands at the park that you were just at, of course, the other night, that they'd found a whole bunch of corpses, but that they had been mutilated beyond recognition by the time they got there. And some blue coats were involved and called on the scene. And that's presumably where the rumors are coming from, because the spirit wardens aren't going to start talking about their day jobs.
Okay.
All right. Round 2 of downtime activities. Back to Silver. And you have in hand now an invitation to a Rowan party in the next day or so, like a tea gathering of Lady Zamira Rowan.
Okay, well, because of that, I mean, clearly I'm going to need, more beautiful robes. I mean, I need dress robes. So I could indulge my vice at Dunridge and Sons. My vice is luxury.
Sure. And I will say, so it sounds like you're trying to clear some stress, which makes sense.
Yep.
Another possibility, just to describe a mechanic we haven't used yet, is you could do the acquire asset one to acquire clothing that will give you, like, make you look better and give you a benefit when you meet Lady Rowan.
All
just
right,
throwing that out there as a way that particular downtime activity can work. But if you got stress to burn, shop till you drop.
Well, I mean, I've got like half of my stress at the moment. So I'm not that bad.
So that would be acquire asset. So you'd just be rolling 1 die, and you can spend 2 coin to bump up the result if you wanted.
I've only got 3 coin, so that's kind of a bad one.
Yeah, you guys need money.
Yeah, we really do. Okay, I'll tell you what. I can go ahead. You said up to 2 coins, so I could just do 1.
Plus 1 quality per 2 coin. So you would give your 1 coin. Yeah. No, it would be just 1 coin to add it. If you go beyond critical, then it's 2 per. Yeah. So, but you roll your cruise tier. So you'd be rolling 1 die. If you spent 1 coin, you'd get 1 better result. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to roll 1 die and spend 1 coin.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Okay,
I think
to acquire better clothes.
Exactly. Ones that'll impress the Rowans.
1d6. If not, I'm just going to go buy some. Okay, well.
3. So it would be. So you have with that coin spending, you have tier 2 clothing. So you splurged a little bit. You didn't just do stress relief shot. It wasn't stress relieving. You were like looking for something specific.
Right.
You got a sense of what like Lady Rowan would appreciate. And so you have a good outfit to wear. So just mark that outfit to impress Lady Rowan. And if and when we play that out, you'll be able to use that to give you a bonus.
Okay. Impressive outfit. Got it.
Yes. Excellent. Oh, I love it. Then Gun?
I would actually like to I need to start training up my resolve. And I was trying to find a nice little description of like what each of the different actions under resolve were like. I know that it's probably not going to be attuned because that's more like getting in touch with spirits and stuff. What's the primary difference between consort and sway?
Consort is more, sway is more like I'm trying to persuade you to do something on my behalf. Consort is more of a chill, like, hey, we're drinking together and I'm trying to get this out of you. There's overlap between a lot of these, honestly. But for training, you are marking an XP on the attribute track.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you fill it up, you pick, so you don't need to decide now which one you would use it for.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah. So I think that Gun, after having a bit of a bender yesterday, is going to spend today, if these are days, just on quiet meditation. And I can actually, I can spend a coin in order to increase the effect, right?
For training, can you? I'm not sure.
Like if I buy some special incense or something to help me.
I think it just says when you spend time in training, mark 1 XP on the track. I don't think you get to spend coin on that one.
Okay, and I also don't roll or anything?
Nope, you just get it. Easy peasy.
Mark 1 on the XP track.
Excellent. So Gun is quietly meditating. Rip, downtime 2.
Yeah, I would like to study up on my study. So could I put a pip in insight?
Yeah, totally. Easy to do. How do you do that?
I am going to, let's see, there is that. Right. I think it was 2 sessions ago. I actually went to the ruins of the Temple to Forgotten Gods, and there was a library in there. I want to go back there and essentially just do some general like reading up.
Nice. Okay, so you get to mark that experience, and then call Willy. One more downtime.
Willy's gonna do some crafting.
All right.
What
are you crafting,
people.
Willy?
Page 224. I don't know. We are a tier 1 crew, right?
Correct. For now.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to craft me a black salt bomb.
Okay.
So
we know what it is.
We can fulfill. It's a tier 4.
Tier
That's
4.
The problem.
Holy crap!
So I don't expect to be able to make it, but I'm going to try and make it. And do I have to be married to that, or can I downgrade based on my role and just build something else?
No, you got to say what you're building first, and that kind of makes sense, right? Like, I'm going to go in the garage and build a car. Oh, I suck. I'm just building.
Well, I have 3 coins. So 3 coins could.
Yeah, and you get to roll first and then spend your coin on this.
I could build it by spending 3, because that'd bring me up to a 4 for sure.
Right, but you get to roll first. Be like, oh wait, I need that fancy.
Yeah.
Silver wire or whatever.
That would be all my cash.
Okay, you would also get +1 quality if you had the workshop crew upgrade, but you don't.
Which we didn't take.
You want to rub that in.
And then how much trance powder does silver have left? Because silver uses that a lot.
A lot. I used it like twice.
So you've probably still got 1 dose of that left.
Yeah, at least.
I'm sure I've got. Yeah, I mean that my game master did not tell me how many doses. I'm sure I could get more. So yes, you can have mine.
So, no, I don't need it. I was thinking of making you some, but no. Fuck it. Let's go and we want something that's going to trap a ghost, right?
Yeah.
So I should probably try and build this. Do you agree? Okay. Do you agree, Rip?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Okay. Then I am gonna go and roll. I have 2 pips in Tinker.
So
I'm rolling 2 dice.
Yep.
Fuck you. That's a 3 and a 3.
Okay.
So a 3 is quality level is tier -1, which is a 0. So no, I fail at it. I'm not going to spend
Yeah, you
anything
can't
because
even
that would only
spend the
bring me up
coin.
to a 3.
That's a bummer, but I'll tell you what though. Just because you figure, you never fail when you're crafting, right? You always learn a valuable lesson. So mark down that next time you will get +1 quality on your next effort on that.
Oh, what a nice GM.
I know.
All right.
Too nice. And Seymour already did helped out on another one. So that'll take us to free play. What do the Sun Chasers want to get up to next? I mean, you do have a box of heart.
How can we figure out where that came from?
Yeah, how big is this heart? I mean, you said it's enlarged. I mean, are we talking like an enlarged human heart or like a large, like huge aquatic animal heart?
The box wasn't that
question.
big. Yeah. No, like larger than human, but not like insanely larger than human.
Is it a human 4-chambered heart?
Does the anatomy match up with human? There's like twists on it that I don't know how good your anatomy is as characters. I don't know how good my anatomy is as a human, but it looks human-ish, but not quite right. Not just the size, but some of the shape and attachy bits and things like that. If that's not too technical, but you don't know, like it isn't obvious to you what kind of heart it is. Just like it's not quite right for human.
So you say it's mummified.
And it's like it appears to have been preserved through some means, potentially for a very, very long time.
Can I tell how it was preserved? Like, is there magic involved?
Why don't you attune with this guy?
All right.
If that's what you want to do.
I can now has 3 pips in attune.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is not a downtime roll.
Roll 3 dice, right?
Yep. Yeah. 3 dice to attune.
That's not very good.
No, it's really quite bad. Okay. You feel like kind of a resistance in this heart to your attempt to probe it, and you feel a shimmer of mystical energy around you. And check off Curious Ghosts and Ghosts Coming. Let's just have you check off 2 boxes and Ghosts are Coming.
Guess what?
Oh shit! Did that
That's
feel
a full
like
clock?
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So set the scene for me here, Rip. Were you like contemplating this all by your lonesome, or is the team? Are you all together contemplating this heart?
Once Rip gets an idea or an obsession, they don't really pay any attention to what's going on around them. So everybody could be there if they want. Like the box opened, there was the heart. We ended the last session. Essentially, Rip was just like, "Oh, what the heck is this? Must investigate immediately." So I'm presuming it could have happened right around while everybody was there.
Okay, does that sound okay to everybody? Or does anybody want to absent themselves in particular?
I'll be there.
Okay.
Probably a good idea to have all hands on deck, right?
Yeah, well, I assumed we were all there. At the time.
As long as I don't get my hands or robes dirty before I meet Lady Rowan.
You'll have a day or 2 to get this together. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I'm in. Okay.
What you guys see is after you've chatted about, do we let all this information out and risk the heat and blah, 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 blah. Rip steps up to the heart and is staring intently at it. And as he's doing so, entranced staring into it, you see a whirl of greenish energy, clearly electroplasmic energy, coalesce around and behind him. And standing upright, tall, with stilt-like legs behind him, is a spectral figure. You feel a wave of cold and a strange clammy smell coming off of it. Suddenly, as it coalesces, its hands reach down toward the back of Rip's head. It's probably something good will happen out of that.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Let's throw to someone who is closest.
Willie sidesteps away.
Willie, you were like leaning in, looking at us like, what the hell is this? You are the closest, actually, as this thing appears.
I literally wasn't. Jesus, talk about railroaded.
I just randomly rolled to see who happened to be closest at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Since we wouldn't have a marching order at this point. You just happen to be the one who's nearest.
Willie's just really just opening himself up to spirits these days. Okay, so sorry, continue.
So yes, you see this thing reaching for Rip's head.
Oh, Christ! Well, there's not an awful lot There's not an awful lot he can do. I could shoot Rip.
That's your first option?
I have no resolve. Willy has no resolve. He has no pips in any resolve.
Yeah, you're particularly bad at this sort of thing.
Yes, I'm very bad at this sort of thing. Oh,
Okay.
Jesus. I guess what? I guess he could yell out a desperate attempt to command the spirit, or try to scare it away, or distract. No, I did not say distract it.
Oh, I didn't think this would be this much fun to randomly put somebody on the spot. This is
I
awesome.
could do a desperate attune or command roll. I would prefer to do a desperate command roll, because I'm thinking that's what he would attempt to do.
Okay, and who you're trying to command, the spirit or Rip?
It would be the spirit to try and I'm trying to defend. He's trying to defend his friend.
Okay.
So,
sounds like a desperate command roll. Somebody could spend a stress, somebody apart from Rip, who is oblivious at the moment, a stress to help by adding a die to Willy's roll.
thanks, guys.
I gotcha.
Wait, what? You said somebody needs to spend the stress?
Yes.
Someone could. Or they could just watch for entertainment purposes. I'm good either
Nope.
way.
I'm helping you.
Okay. Then I'll step back and watch for entertainment purposes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm at one die.
Yep.
Wait, what's your command?
My command is zip.
Nothing. And so is attune. Okay, got it. So now you have one die instead of the lesser of two dice. Yes.
Okay.
You could push by spending 2 stress, but
of course, I'm taking 2 stress.
Oh
It's
wow!
Willy.
Okay. That puts you at 2 dice then.
With Willy, I got 2 die. I'm gonna go for that. 2 dice for that.
You've rolled so well so far.
2 and a 6.
Ooh. Okay. Your desperate measure pays off. Oh, and it could have been bad if you failed. You get to mark experience in that category, in that attribute. So that's nice. It was just enough. It doesn't have a huge effect trying to command a ghost, but it pauses and pulls back and looks at you, and for a moment it seems like it's surveying the scene to check out the situation. Rip, you now feel the cold. Well, first you hear Willy yell at your back for some unknown reason, and you feel the unmistakable whiff of rotten electroplasm and cold behind you as you're leaning in over the heart.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna have to shush this thing back into the ether.
Okay. How are you going to do that, Shishi?
So let's see. A week ago, we opened a door and called a spirit through. Can I open a door and shove the spirit in?
That sounds more like a ritual. I mean, you can try to just through sheer force of your magical will, force it out of the physical world.
Just use compel.
That sounds nice. Sure.
It's attuned to the ghost nearby to obey a command, right? So I can just tell it to stop. Yeah, well, let's use compel.
Okay. So and again, somebody can lean into their magical energy to try to boost him by spending a stress if they'd like.
Oh, Willy might as well, seeing as he's...
Wait, you just burned 2.
Yeah, he's going to burn... I only need to burn 1, though, right?
You'd only need to burn 1 to do that, yeah. Unless somebody else wants to step up instead.
No, that's fine. That's 1, 2, 3, 4...
So 4D, so I get 4d6 then?
Jesus, yeah.
All right, surely I'm going to roll better this time. Hey, got a couple of 6s.
Okay, a couple of 6s means this is a critical success, which is what it was gonna take for you to do that. Okay.
Oh shit!
All right. Wow, this could have been way worse. So Willy distracts the spirit just enough for Rip to whirl around, and just you see this intense glare from Rip's eyes as he cows the ghost back into submission, and then it flees back to the other world. So, at a cost of some stress for Willy, you got away pretty clean there.
Worth it.
I'm still only at 5 stress.
Okay.
So, Willy's good. Willy's turning out to be quite interesting here. Starting to dip his toe in the phantasmagorical a lot here.
I
feel bad that essentially 2 rounds and the Ghost of Common clock, which has been with me since the first session, is filled up. And maybe I should just empty it in. We can have another one.
Yeah, I thought the ghost was going to do more. Actually, but that was critical. I can't argue with that. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to keep it.
All right.
I have a feeling that this is going to be part of like Rip's character. Like they just keep causing problems.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And
It's
the
an
ghosts just
ongoing
keep
plot.
Mhm.
Okay, so but you did run into a solid brick wall when it came to trying to discern anything about the heart.
Well, all I can say is that something might have been involved, but I cannot. It's beyond my capabilities.
Okay. Well, let's talk about other free play options. Obviously, you can go out and try to find things out about the heart. People can go and look for jobs or opportunities to expand turf, or if people have jobs in mind, they can initiate them at this point.
We could go meet with the divers and the other gang that are getting harassed by another gang, and see if we could get some earnings there, and that would also enhance our reputation and such. Or we could go in search of this heiress that we shot in the head, and that might be a bit risky. Could be lucrative, but I think that might be very risky. But
I'm for the divers. I just thought the heiress bit was funny.
There is always the option. Silver has a standing dinner invitation to the Rowans if she wants to, or sorry, tea invitation to the Rowans. You haven't quite qualified for dinner yet, and that might inform the mention of the lost heiress there.
that'd be worth checking out.
I'm happy to run along to my salon appointment and see what the word is, see what the gossip is. My plan is when I get there to mingle. I don't want to stand out. I'm going to stand out anyway because I'm an unusual looking character and I've got that Eruvian air of mystery. But I kind of want to mingle and just sort of listen and learn.
All right. Well, let's dive into that scene now. You have a invitation that you hand off to the doorman at Rowan Mansion in Six Towers, one of the two towers actually that is actually used for the purpose intended, i.e. rich people living there. Lady Zamira Rowan is holding court there with mostly older women around the tea, and the tone is very subdued. The women gathered around Lady Zamira, trying to console her at the tragic or the mysterious disappearance of her niece. Lady Zamira herself, you'd place mid-50s, 60, probably seems very formidable. Let's have a roll to make your first impression here.
Oh, wow, this sounds like I'm walking into a bloodbath if I'm younger and she's actually distraught about her black sheep relative.
Yes.
All right. So
who your team killed? Just a reminder.
Just don't mention that we shot
to the audience at home.
Twice.
Yeah.
Ha! We did.
What am I rolling? A 1d6?
Yeah, well, how are you trying to make your solid, mysterious first impression on them? People do talk to you. You can't. It's not a big enough party to just wallflower it here.
Oh no, I won't be doing that. I think I will probably. I mean, it's the rules of etiquette require that I pay my respects to Lady Zamira. Thank her for an invitation and express condolences on the loss of her relative.
That sounds nice. Oh, so very nice.
Yep.
What kind of role do we think that is? Rec?
I'm doing all the proper things.
Is that a consort?
Sounds consorty to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a consort.
Okay.
No, it's not a command. It's a consort or a finesse.
I feel like finesse is a little more of a physical, like sleight of hand, usually.
Okay, well then let's go with consort.
But remember to add a die for those nice clothes you have for your rolls at this event.
Okay, I have 1 pip in consort. So does that just still give me a roll D6?
So 1 plus the clothes, yeah. So you get 2d6.
Okay, great.
Exactly. You, as always, you could spend 2 stress to push it for a third die. I don't know if you feel like this one. The stake, nothing horrible is probably going to come out of this.
All right.
If it goes pear-shaped, just go to transpowder and grenades.
Gotcha. Okay.
It is the Sun Chaser way. Ooh, okay. Very well done.
What is that?
So,
6. Good.
Lady Zamira seemed touched by your heartfelt sympathies, and after a bit of hanging around the tea and the other ladies cooing and whatnot over her. She rises and says, Lady Silver, I simply must show you the garden. Darling, won't you teach them that new card game, she says, kind of dismissing the other hangers on.
Oh, God.
And she politely but firmly invites you to go tour the garden with her.
I accept, obviously, and I would be delighted.
Okay. So walking along at first in earshot of the outside doorman, she points out this flower and the gardener's done a marvelous job, but that new gardener's horrible. Probably have to fire him. Once you're out of earshot of everyone, she says, so, my dear, you spurned Lord Skurlock. Quite the scandal in your family, isn't it? Her demeanor seems to have changed abruptly from older woman needing consolation to a formidable older woman and very canny, you realize suddenly.
Right. Well, I'm not going to put anything over on her, so I'm just going to say, yes, it was my father's decision, but I simply could not, um, I could not bear to give over my life and myself to a man with a reputation such as Lord Skurlock.
A reputation well-deserved and worse. I would have done much the same in your position. Wish I'd done it with my first husband, actually. But he was just boring. So you have a certain unsavory reputation, I understand. You are seen with an odd bunch of rakes and criminals?
Merely as one must work both sides of the fence, so to speak. We must. It is how am I going to say this? We must know our enemies to understand and evade them.
You might be able to be useful to me if you are interested. My idiot niece Daniela, who I was just getting condolences for. I mean, I'm surprised this didn't happen years sooner. If anyone should have been married off to Skurlock, it should probably have been her, quite honestly.
Oh.
No, I wouldn't even do that to her. So I can't say I'll miss her much, but we can't have people disappearing Rowans. You worry that sort of thing would turn into a habit. I would be most interested and perhaps even indebted to you if you could find out what happened to her and let me know.
I could certainly speak to some of my contacts in the underworld. Obviously, not. I don't really consort with the truly unsavory types.
Of course not, she says dubiously.
Yes, but I can speak to people who would be able to find out what the nefarious details would be, and I can certainly report back to you.
I would be
Thinking all
much
the time,
indebted
oh God,
to you.
Seymour better have a good story here. Bring back.
Yes, I hear you have this friend, Lord Copperbottom, or whatever his name was. No,
Chauncey Peppertooth.
Yeah,
no,
Chauncey.
Lord Peppertooth. Lord Peppertooth is a distant cousin that I must needs refer to him as my fiance to turn away a suitor.
All right. So she says, well, we should probably return to that decrepit band of ravens inside, shall we?
Yes.
But just announce yourself at the door, and if I am about, and I'm always about, I'm too old to do anything anymore, they will come and and I will receive you. Out of the corner of your eye as you turn around, you see a couple of guards up on the walls of the garden with rifles. And God, were they just pulling them up? Had they been training them on you just in case? You didn't quite make that out, but
probably.
That seems odd. Okay. That's an interesting little vignette for Silver, I think. Nice tea time.
Nice tea time. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of interesting that I'm going to have to lie through my teeth to her about what happened to her niece. But
you don't necessarily need the story. You just need a story.
I think we'll come up with something that some excuse that Lord Skurlock that I heard that Lord Skurlock had no further use for her, or she had displeased him in some way.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else pursuing tea time invitations or other interesting things of interest?
Did we decide we wanted to hit up the who were they?
The
divers?
Is that who we want to hit up for our next job, or do we want to poke around for some others, or we just want to hit them up?
Oh,
I'm kind of interested in hitting them up. Honestly.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty flexible, but
you want to go talk to him with me?
Willie's gonna sit it out and let you and Gun. Maybe you and Gun can do it.
Okay.
I'll tag along, but.
Or so another option is if people wanted to gather information about the Telltale Heart, like you could split the remaining 4 of you could split into 2 teams. I'll just throw that out there.
I still want to know more about the heart.
Yeah, I think Willie's awful interested in this heart now.
Well, then you and Rip go do a little bit more digging.
Seymour and I can go talk to the what are they again?
The divers.
The divers.
Yeah, the divers. Yeah, sure.
So what do you say, Rip? Should we head back to Miss Shore Park maybe? Have a poke around there and see if there's anything left there?
Certainly can't hurt.
Should we take this heart to one of your contacts?
I would love to know what kind of purpose this heart would serve.
Surely you would know someone.
I know someone named this is on someone else's sheet, as I recall. Nyrix. They're a possessor ghost. They're actually a ghost.
Nyrix is. I have Nyrix as a courtesan.
Okay.
Oh, Nyrix, and she's my enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, on my sheet, Nyrix
is
a possessor ghost.
Oh, well.
Yeah, there's 2 Nyrixes.
Are there?
Yes, one is Rip's and one is mine.
Yeah.
But what if it's the same one?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was my first very intriguing thought about this game, was that it's presented differently depending on whose contact.
Yes.
What about the hooded proprietor of a half-flooded grotto tavern near the docks, where strange passageways lead to stranger chambers beyond? That's promising.
Based on Slag's knowledge that Nyrix is a possessor ghost, or I'm sorry, Slag Cheeks, Rips. I think that's where I would like to go. Not gonna take the heart with me. That's too dangerous. We'll keep it here, but just to go and talk about it. Like, hey, I found a mummified whale heart. Tell me what the heck this might be used for.
Smaller than a whale heart.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Nyrix is your buddy, and Willie, you're tagging along on this?
Yes. Yeah, I'll just tag along.
Okay. Where would you go to hang out with a random possessor ghost who may be coming in and out of people around town?
I think that depends on, again, because it's Plus is a strange friend. I'm assuming I know Nyrix's habits and who they are in possession of most of the time, and so I would go to wherever they are. And like I'm assuming this, they're masquerading as a person doing some real thing, and so I assume I have some way of like indicating to them, hey, how about a private conversation at some point here, at your convenience.
Okay, yeah. So Nyrix,
maybe inviting Nyrix to the park.
Okay, yeah. You can get word to Nyrix at the Centralia Club in Brightstone, a fancy club where, in courtesan form anyway, Nyrix can be found. And you were hoping to meet Nyrix at Mist Shore Park?
Yeah, have them meet us at the park.
Okay, intriguing. All right, so you meet at the appointed time, and Nyrix shows up dressed down in a body you have seen. Do we have a gender on Nyrix? Do we care?
That doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Inhabiting the body of a woman, but dressed down from usual standards just to come into the park, not looking too fancy like.
Willie at this point has dragged all of the bodies into the brush.
Oh no, the bodies are gone. The spirit wardens took care of them.
Oh boo.
They don't leave bodies lying around if they don't.
How are we supposed to collect our bounty for the missing heiress?
Oh yeah, no, that ship is
that we shot in the head.
Yes. And so are you walking into where you had this encounter then?
Where the digging happened.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the hole has been sort of like loosely filled up again. Most of the blood, to the extent it can be cleaned up, seems to have been. There's still obviously signs of a scuffle, stray bullets, if you look closely in the trees, like signs of people scuffling around back and forth. A couple dropped vials or whatever the substance was that the cultists took, but no sign of the bodies left behind. Rip, you always have such entertaining vignettes for me. What have you brought me here for this time?
Well, several days ago, we decided to try and send a message to a cult that was bent on my destruction and my friend's destruction, or at least our immense discomfort. And during the course of nullifying this threat, we observed them digging up a small box containing a mummified heart, but an unusually large, not necessarily entirely human heart. It's curious that it was found here, and it's curious to me what a cult could possibly want with such a thing. What is it good
Intriguing,
for?
isn't it? So I'm going to have a kind of role that we haven't really had in this game yet that is loosely a luck roll to see you're not trying to influence this person to know things, but just to see how much Nyrix knows.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, since Nyrix is a knowledgeable spirit about town, we'll give 2 dice on that. So Rip, can you give me 2 dice just to see how much your spirit buddy knows?
Oh, geez. Okay. Not much. My highest roll is a 3.
A 3. Okay.
Terrible.
Nyrix doesn't say a 3.
Yeah.
A heart. I've heard of such things, but I don't know what that would be about. I know who looks for that kind of thing, though. And that is those odd lots at the Circle of Flame. They're often in search of strange, ancient thises and that's and artifacts and rituals. And I've heard the odd body part from time to time. And if it's not their interest, I imagine they'd know who would know something about it. A quick back reference, Circle of Flame is who Madame Volyova was representing in your first job.
Okay, right.
In our opening session.
So we're in kind of good with her. She liked the work we did.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Oh, yeah. And Nyrix looks at Willy and, you seem to have encountered a number of spirits lately, for, no offense, not the sort of fellow I would imagine seeking after spirits. It's a hobby of yours?
Willy doffs his cap and says, "No offense, Mrs.
Nyrix. Please, just Nyrix.
Nyrix, Mrs. Nyrix." But I've been helping Mr. Slagcheek in his investigations of the occult and the paranormal.
Have you lost someone in recent years to... And she almost seems like she's thinking and smelling around a little bit. To violence?
He says that he's lost many people to violence down in the mines.
The mines, of
Coleridge.
course. I might have heard someone asking about you. Intriguing. Well, shall I point them in your direction if I meet them again?
Yes, Mrs. Nyrix.
All right, let's ponder that. Seymour and Gun, we're going to look for the word you had, and I think Silver had gotten this information in the previous downtime session of somebody in 6 Towers, this group that's just call themselves the Divers, apparently very literal minded. They dive into canals looking for lost artifacts and bric-a-brac. Sometimes they find good stuff, sometimes, sellable things but nothing fancy. But as she heard, they're having trouble with a gang extorting them, like whenever they cross paths with them, stealing their stuff as they bring it up.
I can't wait to Magnificent Seven this shit, guys. We're going to teach them to defend themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Who was our contact? Where do we find them?
It was kind of vague. Silver got information about likely places to track them down, though.
I imagine if it's Gun and I, we're going to go to the likely places that involve inebriates being served. Is there a bar they like to frequent or something? I mean, just knowing Gun and I.
Actually, no. It seems like your quick inquiries in bars find nothing. These are rather a straight edge kind of crew.
No wonder they keep getting robbed.
Yeah. Why don't they have vices like normal people?
Bunch of weenies.
I don't know, man. The straight edge kids I knew were pretty. Yeah,
but after some patient looking around and asking around, I mean, they're not good enough at covering their tracks to not get extorted by whatever gang is extorting them. So you, professional criminals that they are, and they are not, are eventually able to get word on the street of where to find them. And where one of the wheres is an abandoned warehouse, of which there are many, along a canal in Six Towers.
Yeah, so as we're walking over there, I'll ask Gun, how do you want to play this?
Well, I could bust down the door. You could be awful nice to them. I could be really mean if anyone gets uppity.
Okay, you want a good cop, bad cop it a little bit? Or do you want to just stand there and look tough, and then if anything goes sideways?
Yeah, okay. I can be the heavy.
Yeah, if that's how you want to play it, we can do that.
Yeah, so with that, Gun nods and then kicks down the door to the warehouse.
Okay, so you kick open the door. And these are almost all mini jobs. Could have you make engagement rolls, but that's okay. You kick open the door, and it's startling a group of just 3 people, at least in here at the time. They're in the middle of the warehouse, and there's like old moldering crates around, some shelves that have fallen over. There's cracks in some of the walls that you can almost squeeze a small person through. This is nothing fancy. But in the middle of the floor, they have been working on, you see like what looks like some really awkward old-fashioned scuba equipment, and like some bellows and things like that. Looks kind of heavy for this small crew to carry around or drag around, probably. There are a couple carts with wheels. And it looks like you walked in on them just doing basic maintenance on the equipment they need to, live if they go underwater. The 3 of them jump up. They each walk back away from their gear a little bit. They don't reach for weapons. They hold their hands out and you see almost like a resigned look in their eyes, like, shit, here it comes again. And the one in front who takes the lead, a young woman, and these are all pretty young, like high teens, low 20s, maybe, in kind of bedraggled clothing. The woman up front says, we don't even have anything. We haven't been underwater in like a week. We got nothing for you.
Gun looks over at Seymour as if to say, it's all yours now.
I step into the silhouette of the doorway, and then I walk in and let the light reveal my features. And as I'm talking to them, I'm kind of walking around the perimeter of the room, like running my finger on the dusty counter and looking at it with disdain. And generally just trying to neg.
Okay, this sounds like a roll of some sort to just try to kind of like come in and overawe them a little bit with your.
Right?
I don't know if that's the verb you want, overawe, but you know something in that neighborhood.
No, no, I hear you. Would that be a sway?
You should influence someone with guile, charm, or argument. That seems about right, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's
And Gun has the option of spending a stress to help you, like by looking intimidating in a gunny fashion.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, he can stand. This one.
You don't need to stress this one. I kind of wave him off even.
Okay.
If I can.
All right.
That's 5.
That always works. 5. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you kind of came in with an advantage here to begin with, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 5, so it's not a perfect success. So you have intimidated them, but they don't like you. Like, they, at least at the beginning, hold you in ill will for coming in and being so douchey about all this.
And do I kind of clock that with my just general insight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
okay, cool.
Your spiderly nature reads
perfect.
that. Like, you could probably boss them around and intimidate them and whatever. They're not going to like you for it, though.
I'm going to walk in. Is there anything that resembles a kitchenette or...
No.
There no pitchers of water or anything?
You don't get the impression that they're living here. Like, they've dragged their gear out here to work on it, but you're guessing from the look of things that they are used to moving from place to place, probably in hopes of avoiding the extortion.
Then in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. The stuff was on a table that they were working on, the diving gear.
It's actually just on the ground of the warehouse.
On the ground?
They were bent over it working on it. Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to go. Can I? Is there like a one of those big bell helmets that I can just kind of sit down on?
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm going to do that.
And you see, like, all three of them, like, be careful with that. That's delicate.
And I'm going to pull out my fine bottle of whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to uncork it, and I'm going to take a swig. And then I'm going to hold it out in the direction of the leader, and I'm going to say, come on, sit down.
She sits out of arm's reach. I mean, she sees, like, there's a person with guns here. Running doesn't seem like an option. You're not immediately threatening them. So, yeah, she's okay.
Then I'll lean as far forward as I can, and I'll set the bottle down where hopefully she can reach forward and grab it if she wants.
And you said you took a swig out of it already?
Yeah, I already taken a swig. Yep.
Okay. She, like, watches you for a moment, calculatingly, and then takes a good slug of it. And you can tell she's not a drinker, but with great effort, she manages not to cough on it and sets it back, cough it up and sets it back down, her eyes watering a little bit. Her two companions are, like, looking more nervous than she is. She's putting up on a much braver face here.
Okay. We're not here to hurt. We're here to help. I know my friend comes on a little strong, but...
Yeah, how badly did I fuck up the door?
She was just trying to prove a point.
Yeah, I mean, the door was kind of partly hanging off the hinges anyway, so you made it worse, but it wasn't like a fancy, nice door to begin with.
And the point she was trying to prove is that y'all need protection. Okay.
So wait, you're offering to what? Help us? I mean, those assholes had, like, yeah, anytime they can catch us with anything we bring up to the bottom. I mean, we don't even care about the stuff. We just want to, like, get enough money to, like, get better gear and go down there. We just like finding this stuff. We're not even like...
The struggle is the glory, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah. This guy gets it.
Wee Willie Two Teeth gets it. God, I love Dio. Oh, so much. But yeah, so I say, yeah, maybe well, let me introduce myself. I'm Seymour. This is my associate, Helena Gun. We are of, perhaps you've heard of us, the Sun Chasers. Is there any glimpse of recognition? Has our rumor made it to her?
I think I heard the name one time. I thought it was Suncatchers. Suncatchers, isn't that right? The guy's like, yeah, I think it was Suncatchers.
and I'll just go ahead and kind of chuckle under my breath at that one. And I'll say,
fucking with you. They seem to have heard of something, of a rumor of a group called the Suncatchers. Yes.
And I'll say yes, and we heard through the grapevine that of you guys, and clearly you do need our help. Of course, Duskwall is not known for its charity, and neither are we.
All right. My name's Jevica, by the way, and she says,
"At your service," and I'll lean forward and offer to shake her hand.
She like, okay, and her hand's like really greasy from like,
okay, but she does shake it. Okay,
bits.
that's a good step.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, this gang of toughs is showing up. I don't know the criminal stuff. I don't know if they work for somebody else, but they say they have a monopoly on collecting stuff from under the canals. I don't know anything about that, but the same group always shows up.
Always shows up?
I mean, if we can't avoid them, it's always the same group that catches us when they do. Sometimes we're able to get up and fence our things or hide them or whatever before they catch us. But if they do, they take everything. It's more efficient now. The first couple times they beat us around for a while. Now we just give them the stuff. They let us keep our gear so we can keep bringing stuff up.
How often do they catch you?
1 out of every 3 times we bring something up, seems like.
That seems pretty damn high.
Yeah, and it, sometimes we've lost some really good stuff that we could have sold for good money. All right, so you scare them off. What do you want? So, and we can just we can out of character this now. What are you hoping to get out of a bargain with this group?
Monies, right, Gun? Out of character. That's what we came here for. That's what we're low on, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that I was muted. Yeah, so it's sort of funny. We're offering to get rid of their extortionists, If
Well,
they
for
pay
for
us
a
money.
one-time, it's for a one-time flat fee.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can buy that.
Isn't that the
But
idea?
these guys, sure, but these guys aren't exactly rolling in dough, though, right?
Well, I mean, if they keep bringing stuff up, we could, they could pay in installments.
Okay.
Okay.
So Jevica
Well,
tries
let's see what they offer.
negotiating.
Mhm.
Jevica tries negotiating with you, and she feels like they could pull together in game terms the equivalent of 1 coin per downtime session. If in fact you're able to get this group off their back, and if you're willing to hang out and prevent the next group from taking stuff. Like, she's willing to make a longer term agreement for that in exchange for longer term protection.
What would, if I may ask, how would that play out in terms of game
Oh
mechanic?
yeah, in game terms, when you guys get a payoff for a job,
Mhm.
you would tack on 1 coin from this piece of turf.
Well,
nice.
as far as continuing to help them, how would that play out in a game mechanic? Would we just help them the one time and then it's kind of just role played that we're around?
So in game terms, this would be a turf for you.
Okay,
And
perfect.
it might happen that the GM creates threats to your turf, in which case you'd have to do something about it. Otherwise, it's just kind of in the background. But you'd have the upfront investment of having to do something about this gang, whoever they are.
I'm going to say, I'll tell you what, that sounds agreeable. And also, anytime you bring up a particularly choice haul, bring it by us first.
That makes it a lot more expensive, potentially. Do you want choice haul, or do you want the regular income?
Oh, you don't need to give us the choice haul. We would just like the option to purchase it first.
We'd like first offer.
Yeah.
So you're not just going to take it.
No. Pay us
We pay for
1
it.
coin, and then if you get something particularly juicy, just let us come by and peruse it first before you shop it to someone else.
All right. She looks at Associate 1, who shrugs, and Associate 2, who shrugs, and says, "Okay, you take care of these. This gang, and you got yourself a deal." And she takes another sip of whiskey and, like, with great effort again, just swallows it without flinching.
And yeah, I will lean forward and I will shake her hand and I will say deal. And a small black teardrop appears between my
shit.
thumb and forefinger, and the same appears for her. And we now have a ghost contract.
Nice.
Ghost contract.
So yeah, she better not back out on us here.
Right. No, it makes it very difficult. On the upside, it seems like a pretty good deal if you guys are
Yeah.
able to deliver on your end.
Well, I mean, we'll deliver or die trying. That's
So we're closing in at 9:30. Each of you have set up something interesting for future reference. We've got coming up with some kind of story to get rewarded for information about Daniela Rowan, who again you killed. You've
we
got the
assassinated.
job to protect the divers, and you know that the Circle of Flame might be an option for something related to this heart. So I would suggest leaving it here and then going to experience points, and maybe setting up our next session as a set of mini jobs. Is that interesting
Yay!
for
That
people?
sounds very
Ooh.
interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll come in with 3 kind of jobettes kind of and see what we can
Jobettes.
get through next time.